people. It is your girl, Kia Simone. I am here with another story time. Are you guys ready for this story time? Well, I hope you have your cup of tea or whatever you're sipping on, and let's just get into story time because y'all know I love to tell a good story, okay? So sit back and just enjoy the ride. And your girl is crazy. So, my stories come with some foolishness, okay? So, this story that I'll be sharing with you tonight is the time True made me think I was a gangster. Okay? So, do you guys remember True, that group that Master P had back in the day? Yeah. It was something about that True something about that Master P, them beats. Them beats just got you so hyped up that you would just lose your mind when you just listen to the music, okay? But before I jump into how it made me think I was a gangster, let me just give you a little backstory, okay? I like to always give y'all the backstory so you can have a clear understanding. So if you have not watched any of my other story times, just let me just tell you a little bit about your girl. So I was like really sheltered. So I told you guys we went to church Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. Okay? Now I might be exaggerating, but we went to church a whole lot. Now, we grew up in a household well, my brothers and we grew up in a household where we were not allowed to listen to music. We were not allowed to watch certain shows on television. We didn't go to parties with our friends. We were sheltered. So a lot of music I didn't know about until I turned 18 and basically was on my own and had a little freedom. So for the sake of the story, let's call him David, okay? So usually when there's a sheltered girl, it's something about that thug that turns you on, okay? I'm gonna call him a thug. Yeah, he was living that thug life. You know what Tupac was talking about in his lyrics. So that David, it was something about the mystery. He was intriguing. It was something about like the bad boy in him that just turned me all the way on. I mean, like, oh, turn it. Oh my gosh, I just can't even. That David. So again, for the sake of the story, his name will be David. So David and we hooked up. And so when I met David, you know, I was, still living at home with my parents, but I was still like, trying to live my best life. So if you watched the previous story time from earlier tonight, for the sake of the story, let's call her Toya. So me and Toya and for the sake of the story, Shantae. Toya and Shantae, we were out all the time, hitting the town, tearing up the clubs. Okay. And Toya was she her mother wasn't strict. So Toya can stay out all night. But I wasn't allowed to stay out. Just because you're 18, you still live at home. So I was on strike too. Okay. So my mom said, strike three, you're gonna have to find you somewhere to live. So by the time I met David, I was already on strike too, okay? Messing around with that Toya and Shantae. But it was fun times. So now I meet Mr. David. David was like, he didn't have rules. David was a straight street guy, okay? You know, Midnight is when he woke up. That's when he really, got into his business and did what he did. So when we would hang out, I'm like, I gotta go home. I gotta go home because my curfew was 2:30. Okay, when I still lived at home with my parents. So my mom was like, okay, I understand you're going to the club, but when the clubs close, you need to bring your butt home. Ain't nothing open after two but legs and Coney Island. I don't know where she said that, but okay, could be true. So yeah, let's just get back to story time. I was on strike too. So I let David know, like, listen, I live at home with my parents, and I gotta be at home at 2:30. So, when the getting is good, you ain't ready to go home. So, we, was hitting up rooms and, doing our thing. Hey, what it make it do what it do. So, again, the more and more we hang out, the more I'm falling for Mr. David. So eventually, again, like I said, when the getting is good, you don't want to stop. You like get it. Yes. So we, was doing what we do, and I knew I missed curfew. So I got put out. I was on strike 3. So you know how you in trouble, but you just go ahead and just go out with a bang. You know how you know when you know you know. And I was always that person that, like, if I'm in trouble, I might as well go out with a bang. So once I realized I missed curfew, we might as well finish the do. You know what I'm saying? So I came home, you know, went to sleep, I had a job. So, I'm gonna, think I'm gonna be good. I know what you said, strike 3, but what? Where am I supposed to go? So I guess I didn't believe fat meat was greasy, okay? I knew I was gonna get in trouble, but I didn't think, I was gonna actually get put out. So the next day came around, my parents was like, you on strike 3. So that day I got pulled out the house. Yeah. So I had my little burgundy escort. That's all I had to my name was my burgundy escort. So before I started my shift at the plant, I just had to load up my burgundy escort with all my worldly belongings. Didn't have many, just clothes, shoes, just all my little worldly belongings. So I'm like, oh my gosh, where am I about to go in this burgundy escort? So I just went ahead and headed to work in my burgundy escort with all my personal belongings. So when I showed up at the job, oh, forgot to tell you, yeah, David and I, we work together. So I, went and got David and was like, yeah, about last night, I got put out. So, David, eventually, we decided I was gonna go live with him. Okay, seems all good. We'll say that for a different story time. That's a whole nother story time. How that situation, worked out. But again, we're gonna talk about the time TRU made me think I was a gangster. So we lived together for a while. Let's just fast forward. So eventually I end up moving and getting me an apartment by myself with the help of David. So again, remember, if you want to hear about the time between, make sure you drop in the comments that you want to hear about the other stuff, okay? But right now, we just gonna tell about my gangster moment, okay? So, eventually over time, I end up getting my own little apartment, my first apartment. Oh, how sweet! So, just again, just a reminder, put a pin in it. David, I'm not gonna lie and sugarcoat it. He was a street guy. So, basically a lot of times street guys will pay you to be quiet, just to shut up and just, live your life. So, I'm in my little apartment, content. And then the funny thing about it is that sometimes, people be thinking your life is all good because, oh, you got a man that's, put you up in an apartment or paying for your apartment and, yada, 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 yada. Okay, whatever. So, you know, David didn't live with me at the apartment. He would just stop by, you know, take a shower. We would have, I guess, sex or whatever. At that point, it wasn't even hot and passionate sex anymore because it was just like, you know, it was just, it was what it was at that point. So, again, if you want to hear about the in between, make sure you drop in the comments. I want to hear about the in between. So, I'm at my new apartment. David, is in and out. He's not there on a regular. He got all these things, these obligations and these things that he has to do. So, okay, whatever. But again, I got an apartment. I'm not homeless. You know, I'm, trying to play cool. So, this is where the story gets juicy and hot. So, David came in, did his normal come in, take a shower, So when he gets out the shower, he, when a man usually takes a shower, they empty their pockets or whatever. So he had emptied his pockets and put the stuff from his pocket on the sink. So I'm like, okay, whatever. So when he left, he forgot to put the stuff back in his new pants pockets or whatever. So you know, I'm nosy. I'm trying to figure out what's really going on. Because a woman's intuition will tell you a lot. Okay. So I knew it was some funny business. I knew he wasn't just in the streets taking care of business. I mean, it was just weird. It was really weird between us at this point. But again, this the same ninja that I got put out for. I understand, y'all. Don't judge me. I was already on strike too, so I probably was gonna get put out anyway, messing with Shantae and my girl Toya. But for the sake of this story, or the sake of what I got in my mind, well, it was David's fault for strike three. So I'm just kidding. But yeah. So back to the story. I just felt something was wrong. I'm like, he's not just, so busy in these streets. So, he went on about his business, and again, everything that was on the sink, I was little Miss Private Investigator. Well, I didn't have to do much investigating because he left it there, right? It's in my apartment. He left it. So I opened it up. So that's what they say. You look and you shall find. So I opened up the paperwork. Oh, really? Hmm. Interesting. So the paperwork that I found was paperwork from him getting his ex-girlfriend out of jail. Ooh, y'all probably like, what kind of mess is that? What type of life did you live, Kia? What type of people were you around, Kia? Oh my gosh. Again, I was a church girl trying to live in a world that was not my own. Okay? I thought I was gangster, but I wasn't gangster. I was, look, the furthest I probably went growing up was in the driveway, but I was in a whole new world that I didn't know nothing about. But anyhow, back to the story. So I'm reading the information that he, got her out of jail. His name is on the paperwork. Oh, so this is I'm gonna date myself. So this is when they still had pagers. So I'm paging him like 911. You need to get on the line. You need to get on the line. So when you want to talk to somebody right away, them pagers was so annoying because you would have to wait for someone to call you back. Just don't make no sense. Okay. So I'm waiting for him to call me back. And at that point, he probably knew what I wanted. Maybe he knew because we used to put in them little codes, let somebody know we were mad. So yes. So I'm paging him. So he finally called the house back. So I'm going off. I'm on 100 plus. Okay. So I'm just going off, going off, going off. Like, what you mean? Why did you get her out of jail? Why do you have contact with her and this and that? And I'm going off, I'm going off, I'm going off. So, Mr. David was a little arrogant, probably still a little arrogant to this day. I don't know, but whatever. But he's just basically like, it is what it is. Oh, really, Ninja? Okay, I got you. I got you. So this is when I thought I was gangsta. Okay. So again, I just told you when he came over, he had pants to put on. So that means he has personal belongings at my apartment. So in my little feelings, I took all his belongings and put them in a trash bag. Yeah. So I'm like, oh, mm-hmm. Just throwing all his stuff in. So I lived on the second floor. So I'm dragging the trash bag down the stairs. I'm dragging. When you put everything in one trash bag, it can get a little heavy. So I didn't care. I was just, toting the little thing behind me. So At that time, I had a truck. So I threw the bag in the truck, got in the truck, and on my CD player was True playing. Mm-mm-mm. And y'all remember the song, Let It Go? Yeah, that one. So it was something about when Master P shouted out Detroit, at the beginning of the song, when he said Detroit, ooh wee. And when they start the song off, they like, where they at? Where they at? So I was just on hype like mode, like what? Where they at? Where they at? So I'm in my truck, okay? So now I'm like I'm on gangster mode, okay? But again, y'all remember I was a church girl, so really wasn't that much gangster. I thought I was gangster for that moment, but y'all just give me a pass, okay? So I'm riding, I'm riding, I'm riding. So all the while I'm riding, the next song on that CD come on, the next song. So the more I ride, the hyper I get. So when I pulled up, not to his house, I pulled up to his mama house. Yes, his mama house, because I knew that's where he was at. So when I pulled up, he's sitting in the living room with his friends. Yeah, his boys. Yeah, the boys. The guys that, knew who I was. Uh-huh. Yeah. So, I don't know what I want to nickname the girl that he got out of jail, but she was sitting on the couch also. Mm, really? So, oh yeah, rewind. That same garbage bag. As soon as I pulled up, I pulled up, barely stopping the truck. I jumped out the truck with the garbage bag. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Forgot to tell y'all about that part. Yeah. So I grabbed, like I said, I got the garbage bag. And so when I walked in, I seen all these faces. Yeah, these beautiful faces. I'm like, oh, how cute, how cute. So I took the garbage bag and emptied all the items from the trash bag in the middle of his mama's living room floor. And I was like, "Oh, uh-huh. Yeah, you've been at my house. So don't play while you sitting here in front of her. No, no, no. You've been in my house." So everybody in the living room is quiet as a church mouse. The girl ain't saying nothing. He ain't saying nothing. Ain't nobody saying nothing. I'm just making a big fool of myself. But again, my feelings was hurt because this was my knight in shining armor. I was like, thought me and Mr. David was gonna be the it couple. I just thought we were gonna be everything. When he was singing Erica Badu to me next lifetime, I thought we was gonna be forever and ever. Okay. But I should have known something. Because we fell in love off of Shirley Murdoch as we lay. So, again, I told y'all I was a church girl. So, but now when I listen to the words, I said, oh, that was talking about a whole affair. And I thought we were in love. Whoo, child. The things we do when we are young, dumb, and full of yes. But back to the story. So at this point, I'm making all this noise downstairs in his mama living room. Yeah, again, my feelings were hurt because he was still coming over there hitting it, okay? Uh-huh, yeah. Now I don't care about him paying the, apartment rent. I don't care. You messing with my feelings by still coming over here hitting this, okay? And now you sitting over here with her. No, 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 no. It's not going down like that. So I'm in there making all this noise. So finally he got tired of all my chatter, my chit chat, chatter, whatever I was doing, okay? So now he in there, like again, I said he was quiet as a church mouse. But then he was like, no, let me get you together. So now, when the mama hears all the commotion, the mama flies down the stairs, like, what's going on? And I was like, "Da, da, 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 da," popping off, popping off, popping off, popping off. Okay. So, it was a little commotion, a little tussle and everything. And, I wasn't leaving. I was mad. Now, I did tell a big fat lie because I was hurt. Because I was like, how dare you put me out and you sitting here with her? Because I didn't want to be the one to leave. That's an ego trip right there. So again, I did. I told a big fat lie just to, make him think, to hurt him where I knew it would hurt. So yes, I did tell him, some stuff to get to him. So, with that being said, mhm, so now, that gave me a little pleasure, but I didn't think about that lie would come back to bite me later on. But for the sake of story, let's just get back to the story. So, yeah. So I was thinking I was gangster. TRU made me think I was gangster for about 15 minutes because it was about a 15-minute drive to Mr. David's mama's house. So in the end, him and his mama end up falling out. Now I think they had some other issues going along too, but hey, I don't know. So eventually, after that situation happened or whatever, the mama ended up moving out, and um Mr. David actually ended up living in the place with the girl and whoever else or whatever. So, we could do another story time. I could tell you about how I end up living with the mama and the grandmama. Yes. So I'm gonna go ahead and close story time. But yeah, ladies, don't be acting a fool out here for a dude that has not committed to you or showing you signs that you are not the one. Because Mr. David let me know that I wasn't the one by actions and words, but I chose to ignore him and get in my feelings. So just because he was still hitting it, don't mean that I was his girl. And again, ladies, we gotta pay attention. We gotta do better. Like I said, this was when I was younger, but it's still women out there that's moving mad. So ladies, we have to just be conscious of how we move. And this is crazy. I'm laughing about it, but it's not funny because Mr. David, it was clear, it was evident that I was not the one for him, but I was just, so young. So I'm going to go ahead and end. I hope you guys enjoyed another episode of Storytime. But again, don't let nobody make a fool of you. Do not. Do not let anyone. Hey, Dee Dee, you missed story time. Do not let anyone make a fool because at the end of the day, they're going to be with who they want to be with, and you can't force it. So I'll come back and tell you how I ended up living with the grandmother. Yeah, that was another funny story. But until next time, peace and love. Make sure you get a copy of my book, From Pain to Love by Kea Simone. Right now, I have it on sale for the low, low price of $10 on Amazon. Make sure you get a copy. I hope you enjoyed story time, the time that I thought I was a gangster. Yeah, I thought I was a gangster. No gangster over here, never was. But I was in the in the music, and the music had me thinking I was gangster. Until next time, peace.